Hello, my name is David Webb, and this is a video for Dweebovision. I am a Scrabble grandmaster, and in this video I am going to play Scrabble while providing in-game commentary on my moves. Hopefully this will help to improve your game, and be fun to watch. The game has just started, so let's join the action. It's me to go first. I have the blank, which is good, and the rest of the rack is good apart from the Q. I can't play the Q without burning the blank, and I can't score enough by doing that to justify it. So I'm going to change, and I'll get rid of the Q and the D to balance up the consonants and vowels. That's good. I have wanters and straw N with the blank as an A. I have winters with the blank as an I. I think the blank will probably have to be a blank. And finally, after using 4 minutes of his time, my opponent plays mooing. I don't think that takes an S at the end. There is a double-double lane open in column 5. So, stone raw is good. That doesn't quite hit both double word squares. Does stone raw have an anagram? I'm going to run through the alphabet, imagining an O on my rack, and that is the stone raw rack. Bestrown, that doesn't, well, it may not be good, and in any event doesn't hit both squares. So I haven't seen a double-double yet. It's more likely with the blank as a vowel, because that makes 3 vowels rather than 2. Can't see anything there. Ah, networks. Excellent. Well, I don't see any need to spend longer looking for a bingo. Networks for 90. And that's a balanced rack. I don't think I have a bingo, but I've got a good scoring tile in the Z. And I should be able to leave quite a decent rack leave. My opponent challenges and loses 5 points, so I've now got a 71-point lead. I'm briefly scanning the floaters on the board in case I have a bingo. Well, I don't, but my opponent does. So, what can I do with my Z? It would be good to play off the Y as well. I can do that in row F by playing crazy through the R of clearing. And that triples the Z, so that's pretty good. And the rack leave is good. So is there something better? Close to catalyze. Well, I'm just considering column 4, if I could place my Z on this double letter square, but I can't see a way of doing that and playing off the Y. And I'm also looking in row J. I could place my Z here and have a word ending KY. Can't see anything there. So I may be missing something a lot better. But this certainly does have some merit. 39 points. A good balanced rack, no duplicates. Is there a bingo here? Close to dirempt. Now, my opponent has provided a few more floaters. The N doesn't look helpful, but the O, maybe. Dopiment, not good. Ademption is good, but that's a 9-letter play, so it would need an A and an O. I could play dirempt in column 13 through the R of apron. 32 points. I'm turning over a lot of tiles, but with turning over 6 tiles, I am likely to draw a poor rack. And this is quite a bingo-y rack, so it would be a shame to wreck it. It would also be a shame to miss a bingo if there is one here. Well, I can't see a bingo, but is there a way of playing off fewer tiles and scoring around the 30 mark? I can't play above apron because I don't have anything to go in front of the P. I could play mind in column 4, keeping PT. Well, that's not much different to dirempt. Now, I hope I'm not missing a bingo through that O of apron. I think I will play dirempt. It's not particularly dangerous. And it may draw a challenge, given that networks drew a challenge. Well, there you see 6 random tiles, not good. The V and the U in particular don't go well together, and it's going to be difficult to play off both of them. Onto an E, I could play furtive, but not many floaters on this board. I have a 56-point lead. So, where can I play my V? Column 15 is available with the N. Can I use that? Well, I don't think I can. I could play unfit in column 15, keeping TRV. The V isn't a terrible tile, and does have synergy with the R and the T. The F, U and V are really the triumvirate of poor tiles on this rack, so I am looking to play off 2 of them, and unfit does do that. £27 points, not bad. Good, I've drawn some vowels, so this is a balanced rack. And I've got scoring tiles in the K and the V. Good score by my opponent, 44 points. I'm looking around for places where my K or V could play. Jar takes nothing in front of it. So there aren't many great spots here. I could play Koi in row D, above apron. I think I'm going to struggle to play off the K and the V. But scoring over 30 points is good, and it's not providing any opportunities for my opponent. Again, a non-bingo-y rack, but scoring tiles and balance in terms of vowels and consonants. Play a verb would get rid of the B and the V. Yid takes an S after it. Now I can't see anywhere where verb plays apart from column 2 making via. Breathe also works. This is quite a blocked board. I could play beaver in column 7, making sib and D, but that's not going to score very well. I've got 11 minutes left. There takes nothing in front of it. But A, I'm looking in column 6, A does take an E after it. And Aya takes a D, so I could have a play down here ending ED. Well, can't see a way of using that to good effect. I could play ever in column 12, making et for not many points. Well, what about Irvin? Irvin is better than ever because it doesn't place a vowel next to a premium square. And it doesn't take an S after it. 18 points. That doesn't feel great, but I didn't see anything better. Great, I draw the second blank, and that looks pretty good. Do I have a playable bingo? Where are the bingo lanes on this board? Well, column 2 is available if I can hook Aya and or Ain. Good bingo by my opponent, 94 points for him. And column 14 is also a bingo lane for if I can hook ET and possibly put something between P and T. My opponent has a 50-point lead, so if I can bingo now, I will be going ahead. So I'm looking for a 7-letter bingo. Let me run through the alphabet and see what leaps into my mind. So, reed bed, does that play anywhere? No, I don't think it does. I haven't seen anything else yet. Three E's are slightly tricky. But I was expecting to bingo with this rack. Breezed. Okay, well, they don't work. They don't hook Aya. What does hook Aya? That's another way of approaching this. We'll C. Nothing beginning with C. F. H. L. M. S. T. V. W. If I were to play in column 2, then I'd be providing my opponent with an easy way to score in column 1. So maybe I should be playing through this E of flushes, placing my B here. So maybe I should play bead, opening up another bingo lane, row O, while keeping the two pre-existing ones in column 2 and column 14 open. It scores 30 points, and I'm not providing an easy scoring opportunity for my opponent. Ooh, not a good pickup. All vowels. I can't see a bingo with this rack. I'm 30 points behind and my opponent's on turn. What a shame. I could have, if I'd had a bingo-y rack, I could have bingoed now in column 1. Instead, I have no scoring tiles. I can play aero in column 1 alongside wit. And that's okay because there are still 2 bingo lanes open, row O and column 14. And this does sort out my vowel consonant problems. Not a good score, only 16, but I don't think much more than that was available. Now, can I dodge the cue? Good grief, look at that. Horrible rack. 12 tiles in the bag. My opponent plays off the U, so maybe he doesn't have the cue, but he could have drawn it. I could change. Or I can play. Very tricky. I certainly don't want to block the bingo lane, so a play of Eve, E-A-V-E through this V, would block column 14, so I don't want to do that. Should I change? I'm 60 points behind. I do need a bingo. What I could do is open up another bingo lane. But if I played ace for 5 points, then my rack leave is not bingo-y enough. A really annoyingly bad pickup. I'm going to change. No E's and only one A left. So let's see what this achieves. Well, still not great. Is there a bingo here? And I'm looking at the E of bead. I've got an A for going after ET. Let me run through the alphabet, see if any 7s come to mind. Nothing so far. Duplicate O isn't particularly helpful. O donate is there. That doesn't play. And only 3 minutes on my clock. 6 tiles in the bag. My opponent's obstructed row O, but not eliminated it. He's also only scored 11 points. What I'd like to do is play off my 2 O's. Now, what about this? That's providing a bingo lane, an additional bingo lane, and could well distract my opponent, and he may choose to get a low score and block it. I draw the Q. So my blank could be a U, but there's no 7 there. And I can't see anything through the E. There are 4 tiles in the bag. Now, is there anywhere to play the Q without playing my blank? With only 4 tiles in the bag, I am not allowed to change. 1 tile in the bag. It would be nice to play off just the Q, but I can't see any available eyes for doing that. I've got only 3 minutes left. My opponent's got a 100-point lead, so I'm in dire straits. So is there any way to win this game? Well, what I probably need is a bingo including the Q. So which single tile should I play off? Tricky. Well, I can't actually see a bingo. If I could see a bingo with the Q, then I could play off the tile to maximise, well, to enable me to have a chance of getting it. But I can't, so what I'm going to do is play off 1 tile and see what I draw. Really tricky rack. And I've only got 1 minute left, which isn't very much. So I think I'll play off an E. 9 points. Okay, well, that's quite a good tile. Is there a bingo here? No floaters. So I'm just looking for a 7. Sorry, there is the floating E. Antiqued through a T. Nothing is coming to mind. Squander through an S. And that blocks the E hook largely. Quanted. Okay, can't see anything there. So, 20 seconds left. What can I do with my Q? looking in row A to see if I've got a 6 out of play. Yeah, I have. I'm going over time, but that's not going to affect the result of this game. Monkey 46. My opponent's got just an L left, so he will be going out. He can play Lex in row O. And he does so. Pass to end the game. And the final score, 336 to me, 432 to my opponent. A winning margin of 96 points, so well done to my opponent. Let's see what I missed. It was me to go first. I had the Q. I changed. I could have got 46 by burning the blank and the S. Well, that may have been worth doing. 46 points is a lot. This is my opponent's rack. He played mooing, and I then had 90 for networks, so maybe it was worth changing the Q first go. And a whole bunch of other bingos, but networks was the only double-double. My opponent's rack, he had clearing and other bingos, and this was my rack. I played crazy for 39. I could have played Zeta down here for 11 more points, but my rack leave of ENT is significantly better than CNY, and with the Z on A4, my opponent has got the opportunity to get a high score in row A, so I prefer crazy. My opponent's rack, did he have a bingo? Nope. Now, this was a rack which looked close to a bingo, but there wasn't one there. I played Dirempt for 32. I could have played Impend in column 15, probably slightly better. Not a nice rack for my opponent, and not a particularly nice rack for me. I played Unfit for 27. I could have played Tofu at D14. Okay, down here next to Dirempt. Slightly better score in rack lead, but opening up column 15. My opponent's rack, well, he didn't have great racks at this stage. And this was my rack. I played Koi for 32, that looks fine. My opponent's rack, he played Yid. And this was a rack I struggled with. So the suggestion is verb down here, placing the B next to the H. Actually, maybe that would have been worth considering. Good rack leave. What did I do? I played Irvin, keeping for the same score and keeping the B. Yeah, I think I prefer verb. It keeps the board more open and gets rid of the troublesome B. My opponent has a great rack and plays flushes for 94. And this is where I did not find a bingo. Was there one? Wow, there wasn't. That looks a promising rack. L1, Brie, across here. Well, I prefer my play of bead down here for opening up bingo lanes. Brie obstructs column 2. Horrible rack for my opponent. He's had a number of those. Wit was a good spot. Now, what could I have done here? Ouch, there was a bingo. Yeah. Arioli for 73. That would have played down here and also making Eta. So that was a bad miss. I played Aero for 16, so significantly inferior. And look at the score at that point, 268 to 318. Arioli for 73 would have given me a 20-point lead. And my opponent didn't have a great rack. He played Butt, which was fine, and my rack deteriorated. And I think this is the point at which I changed, and look at the options here. They all score well below 20 points and have horrendous rack leaves, so I think changing is better. My opponent's rack, he played Ado, and this is my rack. Did I have a bingo? No, I did not. And what did I do? I played Coup for 7. in order to open up row A. And I think that's the right thing to do, because I think I think I do need a bingo, and opening up a high-scoring bingo lane is a good idea. I don't think the other moves which score more do that, and also the rack leaves aren't particularly great. That was my opponent's rack. He played Ilex. Now, did I have anything here? Well, no, I had nothing which scored more than 40 points, and I'm over 100 behind, one tile in the bag. So I played off one tile. I don't know if there was a bingo that I was playing for, but I played off one tile. This was my opponent's rack. He played angles, and this looked a pretty good rack, but I couldn't see a bingo, and Monkey was the highest scoring play. So, well done again to my opponent. A good win for him. Bad mistake by me in missing Arioli. That certainly would have had a significant effect on the outcome of the game, but that's often the case, that a single error can have a big impact, and it shows that with an unpromising rack, there still could be a bingo there, so it's important to consider all your racks for bingos, no matter how unbingoy they may initially appear. So I hope you enjoyed watching that video and got something out of it. My name is David Webb, and this has been a video for Dweebovision.